YouTube? It's Yabba.
Hey, Kari. What's good, y'all? We back with another video. Hey, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go look in our description box for our Instagram tags, and they're up here. Yeah. Also, we've got streaming and gaming coming for you guys soon, so make sure you keep. I was on a roll.
She was on a roll, but it just farty.
Keep an eye out for all these channels and great things that we got coming for you guys.
Check my music channel out if y'all like to listen to rap and all that good stuff. It's a nice type of rap. I think I like it, but I'm biased. So with that being said, we reacting today to Mr. George Carlin, the OG on this channel. Man, George. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Another highly recommended video from you guys.
Of course. So. Hey, y'all love George as much as we love George. So I just want to say that love you very much, George. I hope you having a nice little time in your rest. And so we're doing George Carlin.
We both can't talk, y'all. Oh my gosh.
So we've been drinking wine. So if that's the reason, I'm just gonna blame that as the reason. But we're watching Religion is Bullshit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's get to the video. Like, comment, subscribe.
But in the bullshit department, a businessman can't hold a candle to a clergyman. Because I gotta tell you the truth, folks. I gotta tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe. In awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit.
Look at the, how is he doing that? That's crazy.
Thank you. But, thank you very much. But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I gotta tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. And just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this. If there is a God, if there is, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper.
What?
Well, not overnight. You can't see the sun at night. The first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun, okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer, but hey, at least there are no crucifixions and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no pageantry, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy. Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved. Hadn't said an unkind word. Treats me fine. So I worship the sun. But I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors. Do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice. And it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store.
I hope people don't pray for
the eye patch and the club foot. Huh? Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything. But what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan. Gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you? Doesn't it seem a little arrogant? It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? And here's something else, another problem you might have. Suppose your prayers aren't answered. What do you say? Well, it's God's will. Thy will be done. Fine, but if it's God's will and he's going to do what he wants to anyway, why the fuck bother praying in the first place? Seems like a big waste of time to me. Couldn't you just skip the praying part and go right to his will? It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Two reasons. First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay?
Oh,
to me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around. Doesn't fuck around. In fact, Joe Pesci came through on a couple of things that God was having trouble with. For years, I asked God to do something about my noisy neighbor with the barking dog. Joe Pesci straightened that cocksucker out with one visit. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple baseball bat. So I've been praying to Joe for about a year now. And I noticed something. I noticed that all the prayers I used to offer to God and all the prayers I now offer to Joe Pesci are being answered at about the same 50% rate. Half the time I get what I want, half the time I don't. Same as God, 50-50. Same as the four-leaf clover and the horseshoe, the wishing well and the rabbit's foot. Same as the mojo man. Same as the voodoo lady who tells you your fortune by squeezing the goat's testicles. It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit back, make a wish, and enjoy yourself. And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The Three Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother, which I didn't care for, by the way. And finally, I've often always drawn a great deal of moral comfort from Humpty Dumpty. The part I like the best, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See? Nothing happened. Oh, wait, got a little cramp in my leg. My balls hurt. Plus, I'm blind. Oh, now I'm okay again. Must have been Joe Pesci, huh? God bless Joe Pesci. Thank you all very much. Joe bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. He was wrong about one thing, because he's dead now.
Oh, no! But he didn't die right there, though. Yeah, but we die. Everybody does.
Yeah.
We live to die. But, so, I have my own, quarrels with religion. One, because I feel like, okay, so I'm going to give you my take, right? So, I believe in God. I'm not atheist. I know George is, and that's fine. I mean, who cares? I mean, he has his own thing, and he's made his decision based off of what he's went through in life and what he's going through. But I believe in God. Not here to debate with you that I believed in God. I don't really care what you believe, and neither you should care about what I believe, right? So, with that being said, I feel like religion, if we're just talking about the complex of religion and how religion is structured today in our world, I think it's detrimental to everything. Because one, like he said, these people who are in charge of these religious buildings and, even the people who are reading through this religious text, I feel like they're all doing it from their own eye point with their as humans. We're as imperfect, as biased as everything. One, we're greedy as fuck, so we keep asking for more money, even when your church doesn't need any money. Like he said, we're going in on Sundays trying to check out who got the best fit. I don't go to church, by the way. I don't give tithes. I don't do any of that. But I do believe in God, and I believe in God in my own way, right? I probably will never go into church, just being honest. I probably will never give tithe in that way. How I would give tithe is to give back to the community, like donating, going out to a soup kitchen, just giving money to people who need it. That's how I would give tithe, because I don't think the church is doing that even half of the amount that they should. So I believe religion in a sense is all bullshit, because we're all reading from the same Bible, because religion has its own complex too. Yet we have a million, and I mean, before I was really just comfortable with however I felt with my faith, they have a million different denominations or whatever it's called. Like, you have Pentecost, Baptist, who the fuck knows, and who the fuck knows, and there's a lot of them, right? And it's all small differences. And it's just bro, y'all are following the same God. What's the point? Just read the Bible and shut the fuck up. You're over here debating about how to praise God, debating about who is supposed to be in charge of the church. Like, who cares? What does it matter if it's a female or a male? God made all y'all motherfuckers, didn't he? Like, just this certain things that I just don't like about churches. I don't like about the religious complex. I don't like about pastors. I don't like about any of those people. So when I say I'm faithful and I believe in God for myself. I believe in God just for my own personal experiences. And that's just kind of where I stand on it. And I will always believe in God. So I'm not going to change that if you come down in the comments and get butthurt. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. You can be an atheist. That's fine. I'm not upset with you. I don't care. You shouldn't care about me believing in God either. You know what I'm saying? Like, this
has
shouldn't...
nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with you. And you being an atheist has nothing to do with me. No, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone should have the decision to choose. That's it. That's how I feel about this. Like, you should have the decision to choose. If you believe that there is no God, okay. Don't argue with me about the fact that I believe in God, though. If you argue with me in the comments, I'm going to delete your comment. Because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of my faith is not to divide you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you don't, then you don't. If you do, then you do. Okay, good. I'm not gonna. We don't sit here and we don't judge people based off of what they feel. Don't ask me if I feel like I'm going to hell. I don't care about hell. I don't care. Like, don't care. Not even a little bit. I'm fine. I'm comfortable and I'm happy with my faith. And you should be comfortable and happy with your faith. Now, if you feel like you have to debate with me, I'm gonna feel like you're not comfortable and happy. And that's just your. But I'm not gonna debate with you because I don't. Look at me. I don't care.
My 2 cents is this. It's interesting to see how George, who was formerly associated with religion, to now being an atheist, talk about just his personal views and the things that he does now in response to him kind of going away from religion. I take it with a grain of salt because, again, like, his beliefs don't apply to me, and my personal relationship with God has nothing to do with you, him, Abby, nobody. Yeah. Like, that's my business and it's my relationship.
It should be personal.
Bottom line is I believe in God. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to have a whole conversation and debate about it. Yeah. But with that being said, as someone who does believe in God, there are a lot of people who claim to be believers who are spreading a lot of hate and maliciousness and just generally judging and shaming the population for a plethora of things when they are neither perfect nor flawless beings. Yes. And that's something I don't endorse at all, whatsoever. I have no right to judge anyone because I have done things in my past. You have done things in your past. None of us has just lived a perfect life and never made any mistakes or hurt someone. That's not true. So I have no right. It's not my place.
That's why we told y'all, like, this is why we don't care because... Who are we to judge? Who are we to sit here and say, oh, this is wrong and this is right? I don't fucking know. I'm human just as you. I'm going off of what I can see and what I can hear and what I can feel and what I think about, just like you are. So with that being said, I'm using my own personal experiences just as you get to use yours. But my fate shouldn't dictate how you live your life. And your fate shouldn't dictate how I live my life. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And as long as we come together as humans and understand that, perfect.
The message I spread is one of love, peace, and charity. Yeah. I help those who need it. I love those just like I would want someone to love me. Yeah. And I make sure that if somebody needs something, if I have words that I can share that are going to help someone else, I do that. That's my mission here. That's what I get from my faith. And that's it. It's a source of hope for me, which is what it should have been from the very beginning for anyone who believes. But that's, things get misconstrued and lost in translation, so I can't speak to everybody else, but I just know that for me, I'm a kind human being, and I'm kind to other people, and I love everyone, so. But
I do think religion see, I can't even say the word. I do think it's bullshit. I do. I think the fact that they make it so you have to go into a church every week to praise God when they said that your house can be a church, bullshit. I think the fact that they have you go up there and give the pastor not even 10% of your money. God only said 10%, but your money as tithes, bullshit. I think the fact that these pastors can go around and not get taxed when they're over here buying Lamborghinis and Benzes and planes and cars and have all this bullshit. I think the fact that we have all these religions, all these things, and we're more divided than ever, but yet we're loving and peaceful, bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of people use religion in a malicious way and to get
I think religion in general is bullshit. Because I don't think what I believe is religion. I think I believe in God. That's different. I think get the R word out of there. I have faith. Cool. You don't have faith. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I do think it's bullshit though. I think the complex that we have it around now is bullshit.
I think religion is kind of like the way we use the word parties, like for politics.
Yeah.
When you align yourself with a specific party, that's who you fall under.
Yeah.
When you align yourself with a specific religion, that's who you fall under.
Yeah.
I don't align myself with a religion because I don't feel like there's a religion that exists that I agree with. That I feel like doesn't have a lot of.
Let me explain. I believe in Jesus Christ. Yes. Do I believe I'm a Christian? I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. Okay. What I would say is I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. Cool. But I can sit here and say that the story might not be complete. Okay, so here's how I see it, right? We can never know fully anything. Especially when it comes to faith, non-faith. We don't ever know until we die. And when we die, there's no coming back to answer these questions. We can never know. So if I know that we can never know, and I'm just going off of what I know, I can't sit here and tell a man who believes in Islam, even though they're all Abrahamic religions, I can't sit here and tell a man who's Islamic or follows the religion of Islam that he's incorrect. You get what I'm saying? I can't sit here and tell someone who's Jewish that their way is incorrect. And since I don't have the balls to do that, or the headspace to do that, or any type of knowledge to do that, I don't want to speak without the facts. And since I don't know those facts, I'm going to shut up. I can only follow my own faith. And that's all I can really go off of. And I think what we need to do as people is when it comes to religion and all that, push that shit to the side. Because it's like she said, it's like a party. And just think about what do you want to be, and just spreading that through the air. Spreading that love through the air. Spreading that push through the air. Because I've had people, the most religious people in the world, be the most hateful to me. And it's fucked up. Because there was a point in time where I can probably say I was atheist. Right? And I didn't believe in God. There was a point where how I grew up, very Christian. And then I kind of hit my early teens where I lost all my faith, in a sense. And then later on, I kind of regained my faith, but I dropped everything else. Like, I had my faith in God, but not with everything else that came with it, if that makes sense. And that's kind of where I am now. So, in that middle gap, I was just coming out, understanding myself, and I had people constantly telling me I was going to hell. Now, as a kid, you know what hell is, and to have people tell you that you're going to be damned for something you don't even understand yet, it pushes you away. Regardless of what they're saying or who's saying it, it pushes you away, or it forces you to succumb and just follow the bullshit. But what happens is I was so unhappy that it just wasn't going to work for me. I'm not the type of person to be unhappy for anyone else's pleasures. So I was unhappy, like, to the point where I was really just depressed, and it was bad, okay? And in that time period, I had to find myself and get to what I think is right. And what I thought was right, and what I sat on, and what I got back to, and who I got back to, was my original faith in Christ. And everything else came off. And then once I got that faith, I did start to read the Bible. I did start to read more, but it wasn't just the Bible, though, right? I didn't just read one thing and said, okay, that's good enough. Like, I started to read the Bible. I started to look into history. I started to read religious texts from different places, not just Christianity. And it became a full thing for me. So that's kind of like my path on it. So that's why I think that shit's true. What George is saying is true. It is bullshit. I think we're all looking at it from different sides. I'm looking at it as a person of faith, and he's looking at it as a person of non-faith, and that's fine. And for him to look at it from his way, someone can fake and say, oh, maybe he's hateful or maybe this, but that's not true. He went through these experiences, and whatever he went through pushed him so far enough to where he said, okay, that's not for me. He said he tried. Mm-hmm. And he said it wasn't for him. So with that being said, there's nothing I can do as a person to change his outlook on it. And there's nothing that I'm going to do as a person to try to change anyone's outlook on it. I can only speak for myself, and you guys can only speak for yourself and your experiences and your faith. And when you get to the point where maybe you do want to get back, or you don't want to get back, or you're indecisive about it, that's something you're going to have to do with God. But I would tell anyone, not trying to push faith, but I would tell everyone and anyone, who's struggling with that decision, to, if you really don't know, not necessarily to pray, but to talk. Because praying is, I feel like praying, people put a lot of things on praying. But just talk to God like a friend. And if you feel as if that's not for you, okay. And if it's not for you, okay. No one's forcing you. You okay? You don't have to. But that's how I did it. I just talked. And I felt relieved. And that was it for me. And I just knew. So,
My biggest thing is, you have to see for yourself.
Yeah.
Go see for yourself. Because I can tell you my experience and my beliefs all day. But you need to go see for yourself. And you need to research. Don't just listen to one person has to tell you.
It's all
one side. You need to research for yourself the same way you would try to find the best doctor for you. The same way you would try to find the best medication, the best food for you. Research it and find it for yourself, and you'll find the answers that you're looking for. And it's not about right or wrong, because everybody has free will.
Faith or non-faith or whatever. Pick which one. It won't hurt you. I promise you. Look, just do what you think is best
for you.
But I can tell you this as a person of faith, as a person who went through everything. I will tell y'all to not sit there and argue with someone about them having faith or not having faith, because all it does is show that something inside of you is still shaky. If you're certain, you're certain. There's no need to argue. There's no need to try to convince someone else. That's not your job, right? Let them go through their own struggles and their own things. This is not a throw down a Bible verse. Why the fuck do you know more Bible verses than me anyway? You're not supposed to believe. Shut the fuck up. So
we just need to reframe the way that we broach this topic and the way that we try to
just chill.
Put it on people.
Go find your own path. But don't try to put it on anyone else.
It's not your job, my job, or anyone else's job to convince anyone otherwise of what they believe. Yeah. So that needs to be
That's what I think, at least.
And understood.
Because we all have the information now. So, right? It was different before when you didn't have the internet. But now you have the internet. You can look stuff up and figure out the answer. So it's not my job to tell you what faith it is and it's not my job. It's not your job to try to convince us either. So be respectful. You know what I'm saying? All around. And but with that being said, love y'all. See you guys later. And deuces.
Bye.